said yes to being in the play. And I said yes to several things. I do say yes.
It's the most agreeable we have ever heard, Jenna, I think, out there in Poland, Ohio. Saying yes to a lot of things.
Track.
Like the classic Jim Carrey film, Yes Man.
Classic.
Was it Yes, comma, man, or Yes? I never saw it.
Yes Man. Like he's a
yes man.
Yeah.
He's a yes man. Who was the female in that? Zoe Deschanel?
Zoe, yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Never saw
that?
it.
That was a fun one.
It was just liar, liar, opposite.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
That's when he's good.
Can you imagine when he sat down with his agents and they go, man, Liar, Liar is just a huge, huge movie. Killed it at the box office. We've got a great idea. And he goes, Liar, Liar 2? No. You realize the error of your ways, the end of Liar, Liar 1. We're not going to have you backslide.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do that, but the other way.
Right.
You don't say no to anything. Hey, we'll make some tweaks here and there. He's like, oh, cool.
Well, Liar Liar had an element of magic in it, whereas Yes Man is just something he agreed to do. He can say no, but he doesn't.
Liar, Liar, his kid wished that his dad would stop lying. Was that what it was?
Yes.
Wished for one day my dad couldn't tell a lie.
So that whole movie took place within a 24-hour span?
Yeah.
Slightly over.
Well, yeah, because the beginning of it is like
Yeah.
a day or two leading up to the kid's birthday party.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, comedian Joe List is back on the show today. He's right around the corner at Hilarities this weekend. He hasn't been here in a few years. Pre-COVID is the last time we saw him. So we'll catch up with him. Cavs play in Portland tonight. That's a 10 o'clock start here in Cleveland. On MMS, Cavs Blazers, 10 o'clock, 9:30 is when that pregame will begin. And you can listen on the iHeartRadio app, of course, as well, if you're so inclined to do that. Thank you to Shugly Jabastian for helping out in the video department today, too. I mentioned yesterday, just kind of as an aside, the Poundcake had gotten himself a new endorsement.
Sure did.
And I've been informed that he had his first consultation with the client, and they loved him.
Aw,
They think he's fantastic.
what a good fit.
Guess what his endorsement is?
We know.
I know.
Oh, how do you guys know?
He told us.
Oh. Way to save it for the show, Cody. Way
heard
to
before
build up
that.
that suspense.
I didn't tell them today.
Because I think I was there when they said something to you, and you had said, go to Poundcake.
Yeah, he's doing Orange Theory.
Hey, it's about damn time.
Will you go to the one behind our building here?
If the time lines up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to. But again, with Orange Theory, you schedule classes. So if it lines up, after the show, I'll just have, my nice little workout outfit on, my compression shorts and whatever. I
actually heard they're a very political place to work out, so you technically are not allowed to talk about it on the show.
Well,
What?
Because he didn't vote.
Oh, right. He can't. I'm sorry, Poundcake. I wanted to give you props for that.
No, I'm excited for you. I was
be great.
talking with him when we were hanging out before the show a little bit, not recording anything for Sunday, just hanging out. And he's going to, if he sticks with a decent diet and then an exercise at Orange Theory 3 times a week, he's going to
get shredded.
He's going to be ripped.
shredded.
Yeah.
well, that's what I was thinking because I lost, the 30 pounds over the course of the 4 or 5 months. And that was just pure eating. So I can't imagine what it would be like if I was actually working out. And I said it before, I went with like an ex of mine and like did some Orange Theory classes. And I just didn't have the money at the time to pay for the classes. But I said, whenever I get a little, expendable income, I'm going.
This is going to be the year of Cody. This is the year of Poundcake. He's going to have
think
a
so.
big glow up this year. Starting the year.
Did you say expendable income?
like money to, is that what?
You got it from the Expendables. He sold
Like-
some expendable
like
DVDs.
money? Like money?
Yeah, like
money.
expendable money.
Yeah. So when's your first class?
I'm going Monday.
Hey.
Starting out next week, yeah.
That's
All right.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what I can do, and obviously I will keep you abreast every step of the way.
You're gonna lose those breasts.
I don't have them anymore. I've already lost them. It's just making them,
You're gonna have pecs.
pecs, and working my butts. And this is all gonna be just in time for you know what?
Pride Month.
Pride Month.
You know how many years?
This guy.
Do you know how many years I've been saying I want to have the hot body for Pride? I want to have the hot body for Pride. And this year?
You act like you weren't able to do anything on your own.
Finally,
they're going to give me a nice body.
Well, that's why
like he's the $6 million man.
That's why I wanted to do these theories these classes at Orange Theory, because they get you a trainer and they hook you up. Like, you do classes. I need to know what to do. It's not that I didn't.
But they're classes of people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be sequestered off.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I didn't know if they were setting you up with
in the
somebody.
poor's class.
I don't know if they were going to set you up with somebody.
I mean, they probably will. But,
oh boy.
I'm looking forward to getting my ass kicked, and I am doing much like when I was losing weight. The only way I held myself accountable was getting weighed every week. And
we still got the scale here too.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with me being on air.
Should we get some pinchers?
To monitor my body fat.
Calipers for your BMI. They'll probably do that, right? On Monday, they'll give you the calipers?
No.
Why?
Because you can stand on a scale and calculate your BMI now.
I know,
that's
but
like so outdated.
People still do it.
I don't know about that. We did that in college.
But
for
in
cheerleading.
Orange Theory, they put the monitor on your heart, and they get a very accurate reading.
Yeah.
And they don't use calipers.
This will be very exciting for you.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Good for you, man.
And
Happy
I did not see this coming, because I just was like, I'm gonna keep up. I was gonna keep up with my diet, but the fact that I can burn these calories, because the point that I made was both of my jobs right now require sitting on my ass. I'm not getting my steps in like I
should.
How am I supposed to
You could have a standing desk at home.
You're still not getting your steps in.
You could have.
with
them pedals.
little cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't. So
a little treadmill with a desk on it.
I'm excited for this. So thank you guys.
No, it's
I'm really
great.
Excited.
Now, just as there are reasons to be excited, there are reasons to be sad. The Nauti Mermaid.
Oh.
One of the finest establishments in downtown Cleveland. It was practically our second home when we first moved here. Is closing after 20 years. It's weird how many of these places scratched and clawed their way through COVID and got to the other side, because the ripple effects of that in the service industry are kind of still going.
Yeah. Especially with everything being so expensive and then trying to find people to work.
Nauti Mermaid holds the dubious distinction of being the first public eatery that was kind enough to put an Alan Cox Show sticker on their beer cooler. When nobody knew who I was here, they were kind enough to put one up there. And anytime we had friends in town, they were like, I'm staying downtown, we would take them to the Nauti Mermaid. Because it was right down, we were living in Tremont in Ohio City first 6 years we were in Cleveland. And so we'd come right across the bridge, post up at the Nauti Mermaid. Because the food was way better than it had any right to be. And it was just divey enough where it was super, super fun. In all honesty, I haven't been there in a long time, but always loved that place. Nauti Mermaid. Huh?
Why don't you marry it?
Yeah,
because it's
resurrect
closing for good.
Well,
which would
it was
make her
around
the
for
perfect
20
wife.
years.
Oh.
So you had a chance, but you never took it.
Well, what I like is when places go, we have to close. Come see us one last time. The story about them closing, they said their last day was this last Sunday. So I didn't get a chance to go in. These places go, man, we just can't make it happen. End of the month, we're closing. I like that, because then I can go in.
Say your goodbyes.
Say goodbyes. So it went through some ownership changes about a decade ago, and obviously tough times since then. Been open since 2004. And we used to go there all the time. So R.I.P. Nauti Mermaid.
I've been there.
You will
one
be
time.
missed. One time total.
One time total. We went to West 6 for my younger sister's 21st birthday, and she showed her boobs at that bar. She got behind the bar, stood up on a little box crate, whipped them out.
Back in the
got
free
some
days.
beads. Yeah,
and you could
back
see
in
your
the free
boobs
days.
for free.
just pulling them out. Happy birthday to me. We all got a round of shots, and it was like, there we go. That was my one experience at the Nauti Mermaid.
I only went there once as well, but it was
you went there
no
one
boobs.
time?
Yeah, I
Really?
never. It
Wow.
was not a place I went.
You were there all
on
the
a regular
time.
basis. I did. They brought us food one time at the old station,
Mm-hmm.
and it was incredible.
Mhm.
But yeah, that wasn't. I mean, I'm not much of a West 6 guy.
No, but there's some good restaurants still down there. It just, and again, it depends. Like I said, we were living in Tremont, Ohio City, so all we had to do, it wasn't that far at all. A couple of miles to get
Right.
downtown. But yeah, I really dig that place. Also dead, a model by the name of Tatiana Petites. You might not remember her name, but you might definitely remember the face. She was one of the original supermodels. Her name is never really brought up that much, with like Helena Christensen and Cindy Crawford and that first wave of women who called themselves supermodels. But she was one of them. She was in George Michael's Freedom video with all those other models. If you saw her face, you might recognize her. But she was 56 and died suddenly, they said, of an unspecified illness. And they referred to her as the most intense of the original supermodels because she was German. Imagine how intense you had to be to out-intense all those supermodels.
Yeah.
She won an elite modeling contest when she was 17, and then she went to Paris. So they're not saying how she died, but that first wave, Christy Turlington and Linda
Dickinson.
Evangelista. Who?
Janice Dickinson.
That was the generation before. They weren't calling them supermodels then.
I think
when
that was
she
like
was.
her claim to fame on America's
Was
Next
the
Top Model.
first
I was the
supermodel.
first
She
supermodel.
says that.
Her and
yes.
Twiggy.
I was
But
gonna
they
say,
weren't. I mean, Twiggy was like the 60s.
Twiggy
They
was
weren't.
a squirrel. Water skis. Just saw the place where he's going to
The boat. He's coming to the boat show.
The boat show.
Yeah. And Cindy Crawford, Naomi Campbell, and So again, you might remember the face and not the name, but she's dead at 56.
Well, that sucks.
Well, listen, I've said it here before, and I think I'm standing on solid ground. It is more tragic when an attractive person dies because we have so few of them on the planet. You might think, oh, Alan, you're crazy. There's beautiful people everywhere. No,
Open your eyes.
not. Open your eyes. I'm not talking about Instagram filters. I'm not talking about people who watched a YouTube tutorial on contouring and now kind of figured it out. I'm talking about beautiful people. There's no supermodel of that time where they were like, I don't know, put some makeup on. Oh, there she is. These were naturally gorgeous women. Christy Turlington's been married to Ed Burns for a long, long time. She still looks good. Who's the one who's Linda Evangelista, I think, is the one who's in the news because she did something to her face and it screwed her up and now she's mad and suing. But that's just a function of getting older. And it's got to be much harder to be an aging supermodel. I saw Cindy Crawford for the first time in a long time in that Pepsi documentary. The Pepsi Where's My Jet?
She looks great.
She looks fantastic. She got a good-looking husband. I mean, those kids are going to be fine. But it is more tragic when a beautiful person dies. When we all die, we'll have family and loved ones who will mourn us.
Please.
But they'll be
for
like,
yourself.
Oh, I'm speaking for all of us. When we all go,
You're not allowed to do that.
people will go, but what's her name? Tatiana Petites. They go, oh no, this is terrible. And an unspecified illness. Now, I wonder if they mean that it's been unspecified to the press or it's an illness that no one knows what it is, because that's a little vague. Unspecified illness could mean that science doesn't even know what it is yet.
Could be.
Imagine that. Imagine if this once famous woman who kind of faded into obscurity, even at the time she was never really like part of the group, but she was in that, kind of first wave. What if it's something that hasn't even been specified in the world of science yet? What if she died from like a I don't know. Like, let's say she ate pizza a day after it had been on the counter.
Oh, God.
And she died of an unspecified bacterial illness.
Science.
And they haven't even figured out what it is yet.
That'd be interesting if that was something they couldn't figure out.
Foodborne illness.
Yeah.
How did she die? She had some bad Wiener Schnitzel.
She ate for the first time in a long time, and her body rejected it.
It was a foodborne illness, just regular food. She had a sandwich, and it killed her.
Science is a liar sometimes.
And finally, because celebrity deaths do come in threes sometimes, 411 is going away. I had no idea that
I didn't know that still
411 was
existed.
even around. It's going out of service for, I assume, the dozen people who still use it. All major carriers still offer 411.
I did use it a lot when I was younger. I used it a lot in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, yeah, before cell phones and
Yeah.
Google we did. We all used it then, but I'm talking about now. It's hung on until 2023.
What happened to ChaCha? Anybody still use ChaCha?
ChaCha's, what?
What is ChaCha?
Oh my gosh, it's like the Ask Jeeves, but instead of
ChaCha real smooth?
No,
Oh.
it was a text service. You can text ChaCha a question, and there's like another guy on another line or another person, and they will give you the answer to your question. It was ChaCha. I don't know if that's still around, but it was.
No, I never used any
It's
of
not
those,
around anymore. It
Those
was
ads that they had where it's like text anything, because I'm like, that seems like a good
Sketchy.
way to waste money.
because ChaCha was, because the number was 242242, and that spelled ChaCha.
Yep.
And so they called it ChaCha. And there was a, quote, live person. They should bring that back with all the AI that's happening now.
Yeah.
Just bring back ChaCha.
My mom was a big fan of that for whatever reason. We would get into arguments. She's like, ChaCha it. Go see. ChaCha it. I'm like, Mom.
It became a verb in your house.
Yes, my
Go
mom.
ChaCha that.
I'm like, Mom, you're so weird. Like, she likes ChaCha and Ask Jeeves. All the stuff that people don't like, she would go, like, Google.
Huh.
Be a normal person. Google things. Ask Jeeves.
Okay.
She wants to know what Jeeves has to say about it.
Or ChaCha.
That's, by the way, ChaCha is the first instance I can recall of product placement in music. When Missy Elliott said, I'm going to shave my ChaCha
She said ChaCha.
in the Work It
You're
song.
thinking of the ChaCha slide.
Hi, maybe he's thinking of the ChaCha slide.
Anyway, 411 is going away. Condolences to Mary J. Blige and everyone else who, whatever.
But you can still say, what's the 411, and it still sounds...
People know what it is.
It still sounds cool.
I don't know if it sounds cool.
It sounds
but
really
people,
cool.
But people know
You
what
should
you're
say
talking about.
Some people know, over a certain age, know what you're talking about. I guarantee people Poundcake's age and younger are like, huh?
I couldn't believe somebody printed one of these polls. They did this big data survey on what they called retro activities. People of a certain age group, you know, how many percentage of people that have done this or never done this. And it was all based around kind of old media or, you know, a lot of people can say they listen to music on a cassette or whatever. And they talked to people of certain younger age groups, and 30% of them said that they had never typed on a typewriter. And I'm like, who are the 60% of young people who used a typewriter?
Maybe at their grandparents' house or something.
Their grandparents. Yeah, maybe.
My ex-wife went through a typewriter phase where she was collecting old typewriters. She wouldn't really
Collect it. You need a whole room to collect typewriters.
Yeah,
You don't put them in your pocket.
She had a store.
Huh. Oh, well, she was doing it to hopefully flip them.
No, she wasn't trying to flip them. She would just put them in storage or use them for displays. And, But she would use them to make stuff too. But it was just, she'd buy them and then I'd have to carry them because they're always 45 pounds.
I kept a typewriter in every office I've had in my career until I came to Cleveland. I finally unloaded the typewriter. But I was so anal retentive about how I would label things that I had one electric typewriter that I would have in all my offices at stations I worked at. And I would type out my labels.
I remember my parents' typewriter when we lived in Strongsville. And it was so fun to just get on that thing and just crash into it. It was awesome. But yeah, it's
I'm surprised, but I was
they're cool machines, but I can't believe that 60% of people have used one.
Yeah. They're like, oh,
Or
yeah,
young
I've
people.
used a typewriter before.
Now, how are they going to understand the references in cartoons when someone's eating corn on the cob and goes ding and pushes it back the other way?
Well, they won't be able to see those cartoons because HBO Max took them all
They
off.
pulled all of. I can't even watch Duck Amuck anymore. It's my favorite of all time. Thanks for the sour persimmons, cousin. All right, I got to take a break. I will have another $1,000 for you coming up at 3:30. So listen for that keyword to go fund yourself. And I'll get another ticket, a couple of tickets for you if you're a fan of Bruce Campbell. He's